Okay, so fun fact about Jaclyn, she's finally come to terms with enjoying a glass of wine alone in quarantine. I'm so happy. I always said, I was like, just enjoying a glass of wine is just such a treat. And she's like, oh no, if I'm with friends, I'll enjoy. Finally, I've converted her. I'm so happy. And
depends. Yeah. It depends. I will say Torri has influenced me. I'm not necessarily like a huge drinker, but definitely like, I guess the social influence of it. But I was like, I'd never like just be at home and like pour myself a glass of wine. But then we were on FaceTime.
Quarantine has changed the game.
Quarantine has changed.
Let's roll the intro. Well, welcome back to Poddy Talk, the pod.
Why can't we do this?
It makes no sense because I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, let's do it again.
Well welcome back to Poddy. You're talking too slow.
No, you are.
No, I'm not.
Dude, you totally are. Okay, 3, 2.
Welcome back to Poddy Talk, the podcast where we shit talk ourselves. It's you.
I'm Jack. No, it was you. You were echoed again. We can't do our intro. We're still on quarantine pod. You guys can't
perfectly.
tell.
So I'm confused why you're confused.
No, it's because when I'm saying it, you are like a human echo. You're like 4 seconds behind me.
Oh, that's your
why
audio.
I try to slow down.
Because when I say it, it sounds like we're saying it at the exact same time. I'm not even joking.
Well, there's got to be a millisecond of a lag, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we can't do an intro because we're still quarantined and podcasting from opposite ends of Toronto. And honestly, what are we on? This is the start of week 3, I guess, technically.
Yeah, I guess I feel like week 2 for me, like, because it was Sunday to Sunday. Like, I'm probably on like day 15, day or 14 or 15.
My concept of time in quarantine has just been so confusing. I feel like the days don't make sense to me. I don't know what day I'm even on. I don't know how long I've been in my house for at this point. I'm just in a general state of confusion. Time does not exist in quarantine.
Yeah, no, it's definitely super interesting. So let's go in a different direction. Let's not harp on the sadness that is the world this week, although we are showing a little bit of love right now because we're wearing white lab coats. So shout outs to everyone working on the front lines of this for real. Like, we're lucky to be able to sit at home.
Not a lab coat. I will like to clarify, this is from Joe Fresh. It is the active wear collection.
It really looks like it. It really looks like it.
It feels a little sterile, which is good. Sterile is what we want these days. Sanitation is key. So sorry, what was the direction you want to take this? Because I have to preface that I have nothing to talk about because nothing has been happening in my life.
Okay, yeah, well...
Other than just making YouTube videos, so that's not very fun to talk about.
Yeah, okay, so this could go in a few different directions.
Sorry, why are you talking like this?
What do you mean?
You're like, this can go in a few different directions.
Oh.
You're like not talking in your voice. I kind of love it, but I don't know what's happening.
Really? Maybe it's these headphones. I like can't hear myself speak, so I'm like...
We've got a few different directions we're going to take this podcast today, folks. Like,
I mean,
who is she? That's not the Torri I know.
I don't know. Oh my God, I was going to tell you this, and I honestly think it's because I can't hear myself speak, so I think I'm just sounding a little strange because it's strange. Okay, I was going to tell you this. It's actually the most hilarious thing. I woke up in such a state of alarm this morning because I had the craziest dream, and of course you were a part of it. And so what happened was we were at this cheerleading competition, and so I'm standing there, and I guess like it was I knew in my head, like in the dream, that it was my first competition. Like, I had never done a cheerleading competition.
You've been watching too much cheer on Netflix, you can tell.
Yeah, and I was front and center, like in the in the pyramid this way,
stunts,
but not even like the stunts upwards. Like, I'm just talking like of the dance moves when they go forward and they like dance.
Oh, for sure, you're lead dancer.
So I was front and center, but then we had 2 dances, 2 costumes. Everything had been like kind of going well, and then in the first dance, I'm like, my memory is not working properly. Like, I can't remember the dance, and so I do the first dance and it's like not very good, and I'm kind of fake my way through it. And then I run up to you after and we're like sitting in a corner. I'm like, Jaclyn, like, do you have a video version of the second dance? Like, I need to watch it because I can't remember the dance. Like, we're going on and I just can't remember. And you're like, yeah, look, I have a video version. Like, I have it recorded. So I was like, okay, stunning. But then I go into your phone to try and like watch this video version of the dance because I'm like, oh my God, my memory is escaping me. I literally cannot remember the second dance. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, my phone has stopped working. Like, you're like trying to go through your videos and you're like, the videos are not here. Like, and I was like, oh my God, no. And I'm like trying to like go through and like, it's as if like ISO.
You're like standing there practicing it really quick.
Yeah, it's like ISO had like exploded and like nothing made sense. Like
wait, what's ISO?
Like on the iPhone, like, you know, when you like the database, it's like the database was
iOS?
Oh yeah. What is ISO? On a camera, isn't it? Yeah.
ISO is, a camera.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
so I'm confused. iOS. So it's like the whole database had like changed, like nothing made sense, and I was like,
so you like couldn't even use an
and
iPhone?
I was like, no, this isn't it. Like, this isn't how I get to videos. Anyway, so then and then you're like, we gotta go. It's starting. So we fucking run, and now it's like the second dance, and I'm in this like weird, crazy costume that we've changed, and we start the second dance, and I'm looking off to the side because it's like I don't know the dance, and you're obviously like fine. You're like looking at me, and you're like doing
join in, come on, and shake the booty.
And then the other girl at the front, it's almost like she also forgot. Like, we're at two separate ends, and then the judge goes, stop! Like, she stops the fucking competition, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm like, here we go, and she like steps down on the stairs, and she says our coach's name, whom it's escaping me. It was probably Aussie Fit or something, who was like our Nike coach. But
wait, Josh is our cheerleading coach in your dream?
So then
we need to tag him in this. We're gonna kick out of that.
So then she's like, you guys, you don't even know what you're doing, coach, because you've put your two worst performers at the very front. You're not bringing the cheer energy.
Did you start crying?
No, she goes, would you like to explain yourself? So I walk up onto the stage and I go, hi. So I just want to preface this by saying this is my first cheerleading competition. I'm a little out of it right now. And she's like, she sort of like looks at me like, okay, thanks for being honest. And then like everyone's just kind of looking at me. And then of course my alarm goes off. And I'm like, oh, like I wanted to see how that was going to end up.
That sounds like some MSG nightmares. Were you eating MSG the night before?
No, you know what it is? I have very like, so that wouldn't even be when you have a nightmare. Like, that's like serious REM. It's like when you're like fully engaged in your dreams and you're like half awake.
Wait, so I have like, that reminds me of literally 3 different things. So remind me if I forget. 1, I had a weird dream last night too, so remind me to tell you that.
Yeah.
2, I have a reoccurring thing in my dream where if I ever try to do like a cartwheel or tumble or like run really fast, or if I'm trying to like do any performance-based skill or like athletic thing in my dream, I can't do it in my dream, and it's really annoying. Like, there'll be multiple times I'm like, just do a cartwheel, and then I just can't do it in my dream, and like it's this weird thing. But it's reoccurring in any type of dream. I can never do things like that, which is so weird. But that reminds me of my literal first cheer competition. I had a really, really bad first experience in real life. I don't think I've ever told you this. It's like actually so embarrassing. I remember at the time I was so mortified, but okay, so let me preface. So I used to cheer for the Cheer Sport Sharks, which is a like club in kind of like near, like in Ontario. It was closer to where I grew up though. So I love cheer. I wish I did it when I was younger. I only started when I was in high school, but I grew up doing gymnastics and acro, so it was like right up my alley. I absolutely loved it. And this was my very first year and very first competition. And of course, competitions are such a huge deal. Like, you're doing your poof, you're getting your hair ready, you're putting the glitter on, I'm wearing my cute little outfit. And I was a third, which is like a base, and we had just the day before, at this group that I was in, we had a little bit of like attendance issues. We had literally never had a practice, and I had started too on that. I was like on a lower level when I had first started because it was my first year. So some people I feel like weren't as committed, and then some people weren't showing up, and I was the type of person, like I was at every single practice, I would never miss one. But then it's hard too in cheer. If you're missing one person, that means a pyramid can't go up. That means
that affects
this
everything.
Exactly. It's literally a domino effect. So we had literally never had like a full team practice. God. We'd always have people subbing
like
and subbing
marathon.
Kind of.
Except at least that's individual.
So come competition day, everyone is supposed to show up. And I guess one girl, I can't remember if she was sick or didn't make it, or like, I don't know what the context was, but someone we ended up like losing day of, like unexpected. Ooh. We didn't have someone. And of course, this person happened to be in my stunt group or on like my side of the pyramid. Anyways, long story short, so we're at the competition, we're trying to rework a section, and I have to go over to a new section now because they're like, Jaclyn, can you run over quickly to this group, help toss it up, hand it off kind of, and then run back to your group and like whatever. So they were like calling on me to kind of like
save the day.
Kind of. But also, again, this is, and a lot of these other girls had been doing cheer and was on like this team for a while. And again, this was my very first competition. So I'm already like a little nervous. Everything's new. You're in this big arena. Yeah. Like, oh my God, all the excitement, taking cheer pics, like it's the whole thing, right? And so we were practicing, I kind of like understood it, but there might have been like 2 or 3 girls that like, we had to kind of adjust some things, but there was a main part that required me to go over and like toss a basket and then run back to my side and whatever. So, and I'm like, okay, it's good. I've got this. Like, this is so great. So I'm feeling good. Our team gets called. We go out. Like, when you go out, like, you have, like, the little thing. You run around, do your waves, like, do a little wiggle, then you get in position. Like, so I'm feeling, like, $100. I'm going around doing my, like, little cheer kisses. And, like, me and my little buddy who I started off with, like, we have a little, like, handshake thing. And, like, handshake. So I'm feeling like I literally own this place. I feel like I'm a level 5 all-star cheerleader. We just, like, I'm feeling incredible, right? Feeling cute.
Yeah.
And this whole section, our pyramid was at the very end of our routine. So after like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, then it was the big kabam. And come the ending, and everything has gone like unbelievably well. I was like a big tumbler on that team. I hit all my tumbling lines incredible and like was like hitting my landings and being like feeling so good. Come the pyramid, this reworked section, in my head, I guess I completely just forgot that we had changed it. Like I was so in the muscle memory of our actual routine.
Oh, that's
But this is the worst thing. So we're doing it, and my original stunt goes up, we hit it like normal, completely forgetting that I had to run to the opposite side and basically like toss a basket. But the thing is, I was a third, so there was at least still 2 bases there, but I was supposed to kind of be the power to shoot this girl up and like then also be the third to catch her at the back with the 2 other bases. And I guess so I don't even know anything's happening. So I hit our side of the pyramid, but I don't even notice that the other side of the pyramid has like fallen or something's gone on. Like I'm just so focused on my girl.
Yeah.
And then we hit, we're there, I'm feeling amazing, me and like my little group is like feeling good and whatever. So then we get off, and kind of at the end of a competition, you get like pulled off to the side, and then you're with your coaches, and there's normally like a screen where you can directly, like you're kind of in like a little shell and you re-watch your performance, and then you kind of go off and then like wait for award time and stuff.
Right.
So we're at the side, and my coach is like, yo, like is everyone okay? Like what happened out there? And like me and my girls like, what do you mean, like what happened? We're like, oh, part of the pyramid fell down. We're like, oh my God, that sucks. Like that's like, oh my God, what happened? So we're watching it back, and still at this point, I don't realize that this was all my fault. So we're at in the shell watching the video go back, and then comes the pyramid, and then we see they're like, why didn't anyone catch, I think her name was Kylie actually. They're like, whoa, why does Kylie like just completely fall down? Why does no one catch her? Like, I guess the 2 bases, these girls maybe also weren't like the strongest bases at the time. Like I think they could have been maybe new people as well. And normally 2 people that are like catching it, like normally 2 people could catch a girl.
They should be able to.
But I was kind of there for extra support, so we had practiced it, so I totally get it, like fully my fault. But I guess they like had thrown this girl up, and just this girl just like, they just like fully slipped out of these 2 girls' hands, like straight on her back, like a bad fall.
Was she hurt?
Oh yeah, she was hurt. Like not like horribly bad, just like my back is like, obviously her back was sore.
Messed up.
And like the number 1 rule is cheers, you never let a flyer touch the ground. Like that is like we all would have to do like 100 push-ups and stuff. And then so as it's happening, I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God. Because we're trying to like analyze it back there. We're like, so what happened? Why did that fall? And these girls are like, I don't know, she just like slipped through. And I'm like, guys, I didn't go over there. I did the third. Like I completely forgot, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, no.
So it was like the most horrible feeling because, well, 1, I knew that I was the major reason why this beautiful, perfect routine ended up getting fucked up at the end. And 2, I like, poor Kylie, like I like landed on her, she was like genuinely hurt, and it was my fault because I wasn't there. And yeah, so that was my very first cheer competition experience, and I can happily say ever since that moment, my stunts and my girl has never touched the floor ever again.
Aw, that's so good.
Isn't that crazy? It was like kind of like, Thank God, though, I didn't realize in the moment on the mat, because I would have been so thrown off. It's hilarious, not hilarious, but like kind of hilarious that I didn't even know. I walked off thinking like it was incredible. Yeah. Didn't even realize.
Sometimes it's better. Like you're so, and it is true though. I feel like at that point, I mean, hilariously to my own fear of this dream that has totally happened to me in real life, where I've like been at dance competitions and like right before you're about to go and you're like, oh, I actually don't know this dance. Like, I'm gonna freaking forget everything. But then you get out there and then your muscle memory just kicks in and then you just know everything.
You're such a big, like, competitive dancer. Do you have any moments of, like, things going wrong on stage or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I had the most. I think it's just because drama follows me wherever I go and, like, nothing can just ever go as perfectly planned as I want it to. But, one that stands out, there's a few that stand out, but one that stands out, we did this musical theater number to Modern Millie, which like will mean nothing to you, but if you are a musical theater person, you'll know. But essentially, we had this can kick line, which was, and this is like, it was when the whole kind of our approach to the competitions sort of changed, and we would do like smaller numbers versus like large sort of ensemble numbers. So this was an ensemble number, so it was like maybe at least 30 girls. So we sort of did that like Rockette, like kick line. But what happened was, so like I was Millie, so like I was like the star of this like performance. But what happened was I moved back into the line, and so I was the center of 30 girls. So because it went like small, and then it was like a few small girls with me, and then tall girls, like we kind of like built it out so that all the legs like made sense as they moved. So anyways, we're in the middle of this like can kick line, and it would have been like, I will say like at least 9, like this is like the grand finale, like this is like the end of the performance. And from my memory, I'm pretty sure everything else up until that point went fine from what I remember. We do this can kick line, and I don't know what happened, and it's similar to my half marathon story where in practice I had never fallen, never gotten hurt, never, like it's like a really strange thing. I don't know if my adrenaline just
gives you an extra jolt
like,
or something.
I think so. Like, I think I completely go in a new direction, which is actually not a good thing. You should actually be practicing at the level at which you're going to be.
Well, it's funny because you're also not like a clumsy person at all, so it's weird to...
No, I know. It makes no sense. So I think my adrenaline gets the best of me in these circumstances, clearly. So anyways, I actually roll over on my ankle. Like, I just give out on my I think it was my left ankle.
Millie down.
And I just remember like falling forward and then crawling off the back of the stage. And my coach is there, like, she's kind of looking at me, and she like kind of brings me in, and I'm like, and I will say,
like turned it into an interpretive dance. If you were the center, it could have been an intentional like do the worm.
I know, but you know what I really will say, and it's something that I have to really bring forward into my next walks of life, is that I think I'm dramatic.
Oh, you think?
To a fault, because...
I could have told you this revelation myself.
Because of all the times I've gone on to hurt myself, knock on wood, I've actually never broken anything. Nothing in my life.
Oh, so you're saying you might dramatize the moments when you're hurt?
Well, yes and no, because it's like, well, in the moment... This is what I'm saying. I don't know if my pain tolerance is just low. and I'm like, oh, I'm messed up right now. Like, I'm really hurt. Or, and my dad has said this to me, we have very thick bones in the Webster family. And I mean this in the best way. Because my dad, who is, like, done everything from rugby, hockey, like, literally all of the things, he's 50. He has never broken anything, and he's pulled ligaments, he's like torn things, he's like done everything else, but his bones have never, like he's never broken a bone. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'm just in this Webster curse where it's like I'm actually in like more pain because I've like torn something or like, but I've never like broken the bone, but I've like
so it's never probably
it's
like dealt with or like
it's like ligaments and like all of these like in between things. Which, like, the marathon one is kind of like that, because there was no way.
Can I hear the end of this can story? So did you just crawl off and didn't finish the dance? Yeah. Were you crying?
And then, obviously, and that's what I, like,
How
I was
old
crying.
were you? Is this, like, you're 16 or something?
I would have been maybe 15, maybe 15 or 14 or 15.
There's gotta be a video of this. Someone, if you went to Torri's dance studio,
there must
hit me with this content.
Typically, though, I would always hit my marks. I was always good under pressure. Like, I always, like, did the damn thing. But there was another time where it had nothing to do with the actual dance, but it was a weekend of a dance competition. I think you've heard the story. And I put myself head first through a jumpy castle basketball net.
I've heard this story.
And I landed on my neck.
Sure, this is a good one. Share this in detail. Okay, so maybe actually you are just a hazard. Maybe not klutzy, but just hazardous.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree. Share the story.
Confused. This is also like just a level of stupidity that I engaged in, which essentially what happened was my brother was celebrating, it must have been his like 8th birthday, and my mom got this like massive bouncy castle for his friends for that weekend, and all the dance competitions used to be in April, and his birthday was in April, so it just like lined up that the next big dance competition was that weekend. And we had a modern dance that year where we had to wear the like African like neck sort of like braces. They were really pretty. They were kind of like handmade like gold like braces, but we wore these like dainty dresses and then these like really
kind of like a Cleopatra like neck thing?
Sort of, yeah. And so hilariously, it's not that funny, but I put myself head first there was a basketball net in the bouncy castle, like a soft bounce. So I climb up and then I sort of dove head first into the bouncy castle and then crinked my neck, like landed on my neck, which like not great. So immediately I'm like screaming. It's like messed up. So I go to like
surprise,
call
dramatic Torri screaming again, thinking she's fully paralyzed from the neck down. Turns out she just has a bruise.
So then but this is again the problem. So I go to see Paul, my chiropractor at the time, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, because my neck was completely like kinked. Like it was like I had it was just
like a nerve.
Like I couldn't move like past here.
Also the question, so did you dive through penguin dive? You didn't put your hands in front, you just fully just landed on the neck through? Like,
no, I wish I could like tell you some of the dumb things I've done. But then Paul's like, yeah, I don't think you're gonna dance, and they like try this neck brace on me because we thought maybe because it's like I can't move anyways that I could just get away with doing the dance.
And just put your costume on your neck and cover up your neck brace. Shut up.
Yeah. But then it like didn't work out. So luckily I only missed the one dance that year, but I just remember being so like similar to you. It's like you hate being
you feel like you've let a team down. Like it's like beyond just yourself.
And we never did solos. Like at our studio, they never let us do solos because they believed in like the spirit of the team.
Yeah.
So that was even worse. It was just like,
well, I always think of all like the team. I did every sport, every dance, everything like growing up, and I honestly feel actually we've talked about this, I'm sure, in a podcast episode before. I feel like all of those little skills that you learn, whether it's team building, communication skills, like all of that, were so integral at that time and were the foundation of like really who I was going to become. And I'm so glad I did all those team sports and group activities. And
totally. Yeah, I feel like so many of my close friends at that time were like dance studio friends. Like that's who I mean, other than like, school, but in some degree I feel like I was spending more time at the studio than I was, because I was spending like all day Saturday, some Sundays, like, and then every night of the week.
So it was interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting like comment, because you came from a big city, right? So I grew up in a small town. The same people that were at my dance studio were the same kids that I would go to school with.
Oh my God, thank God that did not happen to me.
Not that I didn't like it or did like it, that's just how it was, but that's why I think I loved cheer so much, because I did cheer outside of there was no cheer in my actual town. I like had to go to a bigger like city. And I think that's why I loved it so much, because I was like, oh my God, it's this whole new group of girls. Like I grew up with the same 30 girls in my grade always. Like we had from grade kindergarten to grade 12. It was the same group of people.
That's crazy.
Which I liked in a way, because it did kind of feel like a family, everyone that I grew up with. But then also, you're not exposed to new people. So I loved cheer, because I was like, oh my God, it's this whole new group of girls. And like, I love meeting new people and all of that. And
that would drive me absolutely crazy.
But I didn't do dance as intensely as you did. I did like one dance, like 1 year I did a solo. This was, oh my God, this is so funny. So I'm someone, and I'm actually curious your thoughts about like getting nervous and stuff before performances. Like I am someone that still to this day, whether I am hosting something on the red carpet 5 seconds before we go live, or if I'm 5 seconds in the wing of a stage about to go on stage to perform, I am like pit in my stomach, and I get nerves in my stomach. It's not in my chest, it's not tightness in my throat. I get like butterflies in my stomach. And to the point that I'm like, oh, I either need to pee or potentially shit myself. It's just like, oh, what's happening? But it's also kind of excitement too. And but then it's so weird. Always the second it starts, the second I walk out on like stage or begin, completely gone. And then I'm like on like then I have the adrenaline kick where I'm like, yeah, you know. How do nerves affect you, or how do they manifest in situations that are nerve-wracking?
Yeah, I feel like on stage, like any like major theater performances, I remember in I have one very, very strong memory of I guess I was in grade 10. We were doing Hairspray, and I was Tracy. Tracy. I was like the lead of the entire musical, and so I had like at least 10 songs I was singing. I had major like lines, major dances. Like it was a multitude of things, but I never ever feel like ill prepared. Like it's never the fear of not doing well. It's like the fear of like doing something that'll affect someone else. Like if I miss my mark and then that means someone else can't like get, like I'm like, oh my God, what if I'm like not aware of my surroundings and someone else needs to get somewhere and I'm like in their way? And I remember like walking the halls of my high school. It was like the day of our opening night, and everyone else had been warming up like together in the dance studio. So there was like 100, the whole cast was in the dance studio warming up. And I just like walked out and I was like, I need like a second. Like these 100 people are supporting my role for the next like 2 hours. Like I need to like take a moment. And I remember like walking the hallways and I was like, this is gonna be really interesting. Like I was nervous and I was like, okay, this is like not good. Cause typically I was like, I would always have like a level of nerves, but it was never debilitating. It was never like, oh my God, I need to sit down. Like I'm gonna freak out. But this was the first time I like removed myself from a situation and I was like, okay, I need to like go inside and like figure it out. And like hats off to her. Our director in high school was so like good with nerve management because she was, I don't know, she was great at many things, but the nerve thing was very interesting. And I just remember her walking out and like seeing me. She's like, what are you doing? Like very like casually as if I had nothing to be worried about. And I was like, oh, I think I'm nervous. And she started like laughing. She's like, oh my God, Torri, nervous? She's like, oh my God, don't even worry, let it go. Like she was so like brushed it off as if I had like nothing to worry about. They don't make a big deal, then you kind of realize, oh, you're right, it's not a big deal, it's gonna be okay, like. Yeah, like she was just like, I just remember her kind of laughing and she's like, oh, just go back in with the squad, don't even worry. And yeah, and then it was like totally fine. I also feel like the people around you influence your nerves. Like I remember as like a cast, if we were to get really nervous about something or like, it became very like spiritual in that way. Like you would just like kind of be with each other and like have each other and be like, okay, we got this, like together as a squad, like, and you like bring the energy up together. Like you can't do it alone. Totally. You kind of like need that support. But yeah, no, similar to you, like as soon as I'm on stage, it's like full blackout. Totally. Like I don't even remember like half the things I do. Totally. Well, that was like, okay, so going back to MMVAs, that red carpet thing that I did, I remember we did a live stream for like 2 hours and I was so excited. This is like my dream coming true. I'm hosting on a red carpet, like meeting all these cool celebrities, fun. Yeah. We finished the 2 hours and someone goes, oh my God, that moment with BB Rexa was so cute, and Tyra Banks when she complimented your eyebrows. I go, what? Like couldn't recall. I had to watch the full thing back. Like I could not tell you anything that just happened. Like you're fully in like a different headspace. Actually, you know what? When you were talking about like things going wrong on stage, that totally just reminded me. So we had a very similar thing to you, kind of like the ensemble dance that you were talking about. We would call it a production, but same kind of idea. It was like 30 to 40 girls, and we were doing Peter Pan. And so there's like mermaids, the Lost Boys, pirates, things like that. Like different groups of people. Yeah, exactly. And then there's like the main cast. And I was like one of the younger ones at the time, and I got picked to be Tinkerbell, which to me, I was like, oh my God, she's like the girly one that's so pretty, like amazing. I loved it. I got wings. Like I was obsessed with my costume. So I was like feeling incredible. And again, like I was also dancing with a lot of the older girls, and these were girls that I would look up to and think were incredible dancers. So I always kind of felt like the little baby, and like I was like, I can't believe I get to be Tinkerbell. Like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? And so I remember, and there was a lot of moving parts, and like we had a lot of like the dads, like we had a big like prop. It was like almost like a giant like kind of ship, but it was like a 2-part like climbing kind of thing that they kind of made it look like a ship though. But there was probably like 5 dads behind this thing, because well, one, they had to take it on and off stage so quickly, but also there was lots of costume changes and girls would go behind, so they would like give like props or like whatever. It was like a very like big thing, right?
And so at the very end, one of the final things as Tinkerbell, I had this little like solo moment, and I had pixie dust, like sparkles, and I would like blow them out at one moment, which in hindsight, like sparkles are the worst to clean up. I cannot imagine the mess it made on the stage and just like disaster, but like cute in the moment. So there was this one dad that I had to go to, like, so I would like run behind this prop, and he was supposed to be there with like a little jar of like the glitter, and would like pour it in my hands.
Oh Jesus!
And then I would like have it like in my fist, and then I would kind of go out, and right away I kind of blew it and like did a little thing, right? So I am, and this could have honestly been performance number one. I can't recall. Like, would make sense if this was performance number one, because he never gave me glitter again after that, because he was fired from his position. So I go back there, and at this point, he has dropped the glitter. So I'm back there, like, okay, glitter. He's like, and like glitters everywhere. So he has like a little bit, like, you know when like glitter sticks to your hand.
Yeah.
So he's like, just kind of like goes like this, and I'm like,
oh my
God,
God,
no fucking glitter, and I'm fucking Tinkerbell. Like, I was pissed at this dad. I was like, you dropped my fucking glitter, like grade 3. Jaclyn was not doing well after
impressed by that. No, that is funny.
It's funny too, like at the time, what moments are so big to you, and you look back, like, and not that they're not big moments now, because again, those inform your life and who you are, but at that time, the biggest thing in my life was, yes, that performance, or at that cheer moment, that was the biggest problem in my life, or like the biggest thing, and it's
they
just
had, they in my grade 12 year at theater school, we did a original production written by like collaborators and people that had like been a part of the school for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was really, really good. I mean, these people are like very musically talented and like legitimately wrote a musical, which I don't know many people that can do that, but they did. And so it was this original production. It was called Summerland, and it was sort of about this like group of like Gen X kids, and they were just like so angry with life and just like pissed off, and then sort of they get into this bus crash and then end up in this like kind of fairy tale land.
Are we Gen X or are we Gen Z?
Well, whatever. I'm honestly unclear, but I only say that because one of the songs was called Gen X, like in the play. So, I mean, I don't know.
I think we're Gen X. I always get
but
confused. I think we're Gen X.
Yeah, I don't know. But there was a song called Generation Nowhere. Anyways, it doesn't matter, but it was all about how these kids kind of end up in this like fairy tale land, essentially, because they're in this bus crash and they're like tripping out because they've crashed. But anyways, so we did this whole performance, and we were lucky, like my grade 12 year was super diverse, and there was like a lot of talented kids, and it was really good. Like the play went on to be the musical went on to be really, really good. So anyways, so then whatever, we went on to do this performance. It was really good, all the things. Anyways, it was a whole kind of hilarious thing, but it was people obviously in my grade who were the leads, because we were all the grade 12s. So it was like the guy that I went to prom with, it was like my best friends, it was like all of us were kind of a part of this main ensemble. So I get an email like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, before things kind of like majorly hit the fan. And it was the like production team of people that had written this original musical. And they're like, hey, Torri, so we have been reworking like the script and some of the songs, and we're looking, again, before everything had gone crazy with COVID-19, but they were like, we're looking to like put on a pitch for Fringe Festival to like put on this performance this summer at Fringe, like do like a Summerland like performance at Fringe, because it's all about like theater around the city in Toronto and whatever. So I'm dead, because they're like, we're requesting the original cast to come in sometime in May to like come do a table read, so that, because you guys know the songs and the script, so it would be like really nice to just have it said in your guys' voice, as opposed to us just like sitting around in a circle singing and reading the script.
Did this happen like 8 years ago though? Like it would have been like,
yes, like
10
grade
years
12.
ago? Yeah.
So, well, no, 4, 5, 6, yeah, but about 7 years ago. So I'm literally dead. I'm like, could you imagine me being thrown back into a room with all these people that I haven't seen in 7 years that were like my people in high school, and you're like sitting around this like ensemble table being like, Generation Nowhere. Like,
wait, so did you say no? Absolutely not?
Well, what happened was, it was at the time before, again, all this happened, conflicting with like a booking that I already had. Like I was going to be out of the city. Like I was literally not going to be here. Because part of me was like, if I was here, I could like get on board with just being like, so where did everybody end up?
A little high school reunion?
Yeah, and there's people from the cast that like were super talented. Like one of them went on to like go to Juilliard and like, you know, lives in New York now.
What's his face who we met the Raptors night? Why am I blanking on his name? Was he part of your musical?
So he was a part of Hairspray.
Lamar.
He was a part of Hairspray. But yeah, like so many people from my high school went on to like either be successful actors, successful Broadway performers. Like it's like very common.
Successful podcasters.
Yeah, there's definitely a sprinkle of magic of people that went to that school. But anyways, all that to say, in some degrees, it would have been very interesting to like go back and see everyone and like perform with them again, because it's also like very nostalgic and
totally
would be fun. But anyways, there was a conflict, and I don't know how they've even proceeded to move forward with everything that's happened, but I was like, wow, how freaking hilarious. Like, just a little high school reunion, why don't we?
Yeah, no, that is so funny. I feel like high school reunions are actually just so hilariously iconic. I would go to one, I think. I mean, what do you normally do, 20-year reunion? Like 10-year I feel like isn't enough. Like I wouldn't go for a 10-year. Like I feel like, because 10-year would be coming up. 10 years
just kind of seems a little like awkward. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's not like, some people are like, oh, I still haven't started my career. Like it's like this weird, people could still be in like a weird middle ground. I feel like 20-year would be. What's normal, 30-year reunion?
Also, like, sort of makes me sad, because I'm like, there were so many people that I remember from high school that you think you're like, oh, that person's so cool. And then you realize, oh, they totally peaked in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah.
No.
It's just interesting. It's funny how, like, when you're in high school, you think it is truly informing your entire life, and the second you leave, you're like, I can wholeheartedly say university as a 4 years of my life influenced me far more, like honestly 100 times more than what high school did for me. I grew so much more as a person, like I learned so much more, like I just can't. So I feel like high school is just like such a, I don't know, I feel bad for people that are in high school and hate their lives, because I'm like, yo, it gets so much better.
Yeah.
I'm like, it gets so good. Don't even worry.
It gets good. Wow. I hope this was, if anyone else listening were dancers, gymnasts, performers of any capacity, I hope this made you also nostalgic. But also, again, this is Poddy Talk. So share down below your worst on stage moment or the most embarrassing thing, because I love to hear those stories.
Clearly, we've all been there.
We've all been there. We've all rolled the ankle during a can or dropped the glitter. Like,
you never know.
Things have happened, man.
You never know. That's so funny.
Are we ready for Roses and Thorns? Is it that time? Again, lost concept of time, so don't know if we're there yet. Because I'm ready. I've got a major thorn that I need to talk about.
All right.
Literally 10 minutes before we started rolling, I'm like setting up my camera, and right now my camera's on my coffee table. And I normally have a big cactus on my coffee table. And I had to like move it obviously to like set this up. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, you know, when you're not really paying attention and you're just like kind of grabbing things. I wasn't like thinking that, oh, that's a cactus. Like, be careful of where you grab.
Oh, did you push yourself?
I just like grabbed the cactus by the cactus to the point that I had about 4 like pricks that were bleeding out of my hand. And I'm like, geez, why? Like, it was just a dumb thing. So I was like, that is for sure a thorn, literally, because I had thorns in my hands.
That's funny.
A rose is. Oh my god, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story yesterday, but I made a fire banana bread, and
I did, yes.
It was, I had no chocolate chips, but I had this amazing like Swiss chocolate, like really creamy dark chocolate bar, so I was like, oh, this will work. And the chocolate was phenomenal inside.
So it worked.
Yeah, it was so good, and I was filming a YouTube video on it as well, so if you want a really good vegan banana bread recipe, go to Jaclyn Forbes YouTube page.
Love that.
I said that so backwards, youtube.com/Jaclyn Forbes. But yeah, so I've been having like really productive days, so I've been feeling just like actually really efficient.
Nice.
It's kind of trying to find the beauty in this weird time that we're in. It's like there's no outside distractions, so there's also no excuses. It's like if you want to sit in the house and feel like a piece of shit all day doing nothing, just eating food, like you could do that. It's your choice, but also you have no distractions, so if you want to get all this work done.
Better.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've been kind of like taking that in an empowering way and just been getting shit done.
Good.
Another rose is... actually, I had a really nice, speaking of nostalgic throwback high school moments, me and my high school friends, we had like a nice Zoom chat last night, which Zoom has been saving my life because group FaceTime has been totally shitting the bed and been awful.
Zoom is so much better than FaceTime.
Totally, and it's just easy to set up. So we were talking on Zoom for, I swear to God, like 4 hours, and like I just ended up falling asleep. But it was like so nice. It was like, you know, like a good chat kind of night. That's what the energy was. And then a rosebud, something I'm looking forward to is, I don't know, can we even say this on the pod?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think so.
We're not going to say too much, but this week we are kind of going more into production of merch. Poddy Talk merch, and we're
taking all the right steps, I believe.
Yeah, we've kind of hinted at it for a while, but the process now is finally getting real and something that we can roll out to you guys within
Hopefully
the
soon.
near future. I guess depending, we'll have to see like where the world is at and if production of these companies is still happening, but we have some very fun things happening, so that's all I will say about merch, but that is definitely a rosebud.
Oh, I love that.
What about you, Torri?
Thorn, is that just that dream got cut short? I wanted to know how that competition was going to end. I just would have loved to know.
I would have wanted out of that.
No, so sometimes I just hate that so much, and I try to fall back asleep in the moment of when my dream ended, but that's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the Thorn. Rose, Adam and I have just been spending so much nice time together because I feel like my life moves 10 miles a minute, and so in some ways this like forced vacation has been like so nice, like just like bringing me back to my roots. Like I'm like cooking, which I never do. I'm just like and I feel like somehow, which makes no sense, but like more creative. Like I'm like, so what can I do? Like what is the world telling me today? Like I feel like
good.
So that's good. Yeah, it's just like nice to spend time with Adam. And then another rose, finally got to see my parents yesterday. Like we'd all kind of done like a solid 14 days like on our own, so they haven't seen people. So we did like a nice like 7K walk on the golf course, which was really nice.
That's cute.
Yeah. And just like trying to like stay as active as possible in this like time where we're locked in the condo. And then a rosebud, I'm looking forward to, I have like peanut butter, and I'm thinking of making some peanut butter cookies at some point.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Those are pretty like simple to make too. You can make it
easy. Yeah. And like underrated. Just
I have a new rosebud actually. I forgot that today is Wednesday, and that means new Survivor. And holy, I've been loving this season.
Really?
I don't get into TV very often, but
yeah.
I love like more reality, like game shows and stuff. And
oh my god! And Keeping Up with the Kardashians is coming back new day on Thursdays now.
Oh yeah, I saw
which
that.
Like I kind of enjoy because like I always thought Sunday night it's like I'm you're like kind of half asleep.
Exactly. I want to have an early night. I don't want to.
But like Thursday night, I'm like, I could make a party out of this. I could be having wine. I could be having friends over.
Totally.
It's like Kardashian Thursday. Bring it to me.
Yeah.
So
I love it. Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in to another quarantine podcast. Hopefully we get out of here soon. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
I also do want to flag, thank you for sticking with us. Last week's audio was problematic because we had this new setup, but I think, fingers crossed that this setup is a bit better and should sound a bit better. So thank you for bearing with us because the last episode I was editing it and honestly almost just deleted all the stuff because I could not stand it.
We love tech issues.
Woo! Okay guys, have a great day. I hope you enjoy.
See you next week.
Bye.